Welcome back to The Occult Detective. I'm Bob Freeman. Today I wanted to talk about a book that I just finished. It's called Young Aleister Crowley and the Magician's Revolt by Lon Milo DuQuette and Jim Britkowski. Now, I've got a little bit of a history with this book. Several years ago, I had spoken with Wiser Books about doing an anthology of occult fiction written by actual occult practitioners. So I got people like Judika Illes and Diana Paxson and Richard Kaczynski and just several other people, all interested and willing to take part in the project. And I was really excited about it. And I conversed with Lon Milo DuQuette quite a bit, and he had offered to send the Aleister Crowley book that he had written with Jim Britkowski to be a part of that anthology. Now, I didn't read it at the time, but I was a fan of Lon's work, and so yeah, I was excited to have that to add to the anthology. That ultimately fell apart. Wiser Books decided that there just wasn't an audience for it. They didn't think they'd be able to move copies of it. So, you know, that happens. I mean, the tradition of occult practitioners writing occult fiction is, you know, long and storied. You know, I mean, Aleister Crowley himself wrote some great occult fiction, as well as like Algernon Blackwood and Arthur Mencken and, you know, just on and on, a whole slew of terrific authors who were magicians and produced terrific occult fiction. But that's neither here nor there. What we're here to talk about, at least initially, is Young Aleister Crowley and the Magician's Revolt. Now, I was really excited to read this book, and I will tell you right up front, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun book that I think you would enjoy reading. That said, it is not the book that I wanted. It just plays fast and loose with history. It's very much it's a fictional book, right? There's the bones of actual history in this, but boy, they play fast and loose with it. And I was hoping for something a little more skewed towards reality, and this strays very far from that. But it is a fun read, you know, and as a purely fictional occult story, it's terrific, and I would recommend it in that vein. But if you're expecting like just a historical fiction tale of Aleister Crowley that, you know, is just dramatized, this is not that. The other thing about it that I have a problem with is the AI cover. Publishers, stop doing this. It's a bad look for you. And, you know, there's plenty of artists out there, you know, that would have done this for, you know, probably as much as you paid this AI artist to do it. You could have got a real piece of art to put on there. So yeah, if you don't buy this because of the cover art, I would understand it. It's really unfortunate, and hopefully Wiser Books will do better in the future. Now, what else have I read recently? I got some great books from my son for Father's Day. Him and my wife curated some really interesting things. Let's start with what I haven't read yet. The Best of H.P. Lovecraft, Black Seas of Infinity, and that cover art is just amazing. I've always wanted this version. So yeah, terrific to have this in my collection now. And I look forward to reading this. My only complaint with the book, when I looked at the table of contents, is that it does not have, I mean, it says the best of right there, doesn't have Dunwich Horror. But other than that, the best of his stuff is in here. So I'll be reading this and reviewing it in the near future. I also received The Hyborian Age by Robert E. Howard. Of course, I have this in other books, but it's kind of nice to have this in one nice little thin volume just to pull out. Big print, easy to read, always one worthy of revisiting. Howard's my favorite author, and this essay about the Hyborian Age is just terrific. I am a big fan of Uncle Tupelo and that whole family tree of bands that came out of that. So I received 2 books. So we have Jeff Tweedy's Let's Go So We Can Get Back Again, a memoir of recording and discording with Wilco, etc. And Jay Farrar's Falling Cars and Junkyard Dogs. Now, I read Farrar's book in a day. If I had to lean, in the war between Tweedy and Farrar, I skew towards Farrar. So I wanted to read this. It's a thinner book, so it was a quick read and very fascinating. I'm the same age as these guys, so we have a lot of the same influences, and it's all in this book. It was terrific. He's from the same part of the country that my family comes from. The Ozarks of Missouri is where the Freeman clan kind of spread from down into Arkansas. And so yeah, a lot of familiar ground in here. And it was, a fascinating glimpse into the way Farrar thinks. I found the chapters, which are very short, almost like kind of punchy, like blog posts. But they have a lyrical quality to them. They're very much like songs. And I was impressed by it. It was nice. A little repetitive, which I write in a very similar vein. When I have a thing in my head, it creeps into my writing, and you saw that a lot in this. It reminded me a lot of my occult detective memoir, Misadventures in High Strangeness, in that regard. But terrific book. If you're interested in Uncle Tupelo, Sunvolt, Gob Iron, I would recommend this very highly. I am starting the Tweedy book now. He's a little bit more verbose, so we'll see kind of his version of events. Terrific though. And let's see. That leaves me with some thoughts about Occult Detective October. So here we go. It's nearing the end of June, so we've got some time. But, occult detectives are always on my brain, so let's look at a couple of options that I'm considering. One, just to get this out of the way, I'm going to be writing an essay that looks at Howard's Conan through the occult detective lens. I'm not going to say more than that, but that is going to be one of my projects for Occult Detective October. But I'll also be reading some other fiction, and I'm trying to decide exactly where I want to go with that. So at the top of my list, I'm thinking right now, is some works by Justin Gustanis, and we have his Black Magic Woman, We have Evil Ways. We have Sympathy for the Devil. And we have Play with Fire and Midnight at the Oasis. So there's two books in a single mass market. Justin, I conversed with quite a bit several years ago. A few of these came from him. And I loved the books. Like I had read the Dresden Files and liked them, although I thought it kind of went off the rails eventually, and I kind of quit reading the books. I may revisit those at some point, but yeah, I thought the Gustanus books were in a similar vein, but just a little more compelling. Deals with Quincy Morris, who's the great-grandson of the famous killer of Dracula, and a white witch named Libby Chastain. So yeah, these are definitely urban fantasy, occult detective novels, and I look forward to revisiting those. They are at the top of my list for what I'll be reading for Occult Detective October. So if I don't read those, and I'm pretty sure I will, but if I don't, I also had some other books in mind. One being Shadow of a Broken Man. That's a George Chesborough novel. And this is about let's just read this little blurb on the back. Can you mix a dwarf, ESP, and the United Nations and come up with a successful mystery novel? George Chesborough does in Shadow of a Broken Man, and the result is not just good, it's terrific. So yeah, our protagonist is a college professor, a Dr. Robert Fredrickson, and he was a circus performer named Mongo, a dwarf, and he's also a bit of a private detective. So this is definitely a possibility. What's neat about this book, and it's got a broken spine and it's in bad shape, but it did come from the Public Library of Dodge City, Kansas. So I kind of love the idea of a book that's from Dodge City. Anyway, so the other books that I'm thinking about revisiting are Mike Carey's Felix Castor novels. We've got The Devil You Know, Vicious Circle, and Dead Men's Boots. So yeah, the Felix Castor novels are great, and I think they were originally John Constantine scripts when Carey was writing the comic. He just kind of retooled. So, well, there you go. That's what I'm up to, and I've already got Occult Detective October on my brain, so we'll have to see how it plays out. I'm also looking ahead to the documentary series that I'm planning about Somerset and the Mississinawa Reservoir. So stay tuned for more of that. You'll probably be seeing more magical content as we start rolling into late summer and fall. So you know how that works for me. So I'm going to leave you to it. It's all I have for you now. But we'll talk again real soon.